Good morning to all of you. I welcomes to all in our lecture series on statistical mechanics, that is your core paper 14, belongs to 6th semester BSc syllabus. In our last class we have been discussed in detail about pure temperature dependence. Okay, in detail we have been discussed, and at last also we have been discussed some important definitions, that is your emissive power represented by E. For a particular wavelength it will be E lambda. Absorptive power represented by small a. For a particular wavelength it will be represented as a subscript lambda. Okay, and also we have been discussed emissivity, and in our today class we are going to discuss Kirchhoff's law. Okay, before we have to start the Kirchhoff's law, here I done some modifications uh, for the emissivity that you have to do in your note. Emissivity will be represented as, let E dash. Here emissive power is represented as E. So here we changed another symbol, that is your E dash. Suppose emissivity of a material. And in the last class I have been written that emissivity equal to small e by capital E. But you have to write this one, E dash, emissivity E dash will be equal to E lambda by capital E lambda. It is represents your particular wavelength. Okay, so this much correction you have to do in your note. Now we have to start the Kirchhoff's law. So according to this law states that the ratio of emissive power of a body to its absorptive power at any temperature is equal to emissive power of a perfectly black body, and this ratio is always constant. Mathematical we have to write. Okay, let the emissive power of a body corresponding to wavelength lambda equal to E lambda. Already we have been defined emissive power for a particular wavelength is represented by E lambda. Same thing I have been written over here. And the absorptive power of a body corresponding to wavelength lambda will be represented by A lambda. According to this law, the ratio between emissive power, this is represents the emissive power for a particular wavelength, ratio between emissive power to its absorptive power. Absorptive power for a particular wavelength is represented as A lambda. So E lambda by A lambda will be constant according to Kirchhoff's law, that we have to also prove. Okay, so absorptive power, so ratio of emissive power of a body to its absorptive power at any temperature is equal to emissive power of a perfectly black body, and this ratio also constant. So E lambda by A lambda will be a constant and will be equal to emissive power of the black body. Emissive power of the black body, that is your perfectly black body, that is your E represented by capital E lambda. So according to the Kirchhoff's law of heat radiation, E lambda by A lambda will be constant, will be equal to E lambda. Here E lambda is the emissive power of a perfect black body at same temperature. Which temperature we have to measure the emissive power and as well as absorptive power of the material. Okay, so any material for a particular temperature we have emissive power for a particular wavelength, and at that temperature also we calculated the absorptive power. If we are going to do the ratio, then we can found it will be constant and it will be equal to the emissive power of a perfectly black body. These things we have to be prove. Okay, so here at same temperature and corresponding to same wavelength, these things we have to be prove. So here this figure represents, this is our experimental material what we have been chosen for our experiment. This is your incident thermal radiation. Let dq amount of incident radiation incidents on this material. Part of the radiation will be reflected. This is the this dotted arrow represents radiation reflected or radiation by reflection, and this arrow represents radiation emitted. So this is your radiation by emission, this is your radiation by reflection, and some of the radiation will be absorbed due to the absorptive power of the body. Okay, so same thing, it has been written whatever in the figure we have been discussed, same thing it has been written. So to prove, let q be a small amount of thermal radiations incident per second per unit area. This things is most important that you have to concentrate, and you have to also write in your note carefully. Whenever you are writing the note, you have to write these things carefully. Per second per unit area. Okay, if you will be miss per second, then the meaning will be different. Okay, so let q dq be the small amount of thermal radiations incident per second per unit area on a body as shown in the figure. So this is your dq amount of thermal radiation incident but per unit area per unit time per unit area. This is your thermal incident thermal radiation. The value is dq, here we have been taken. The incident thermal radiation have their wavelengths spread in a very narrow range, suppose d lambda. So whatever the radiation incidents on this body or material, that radiation's wavelength wavelength range suppose d lambda. Okay, wavelength range is d lambda. Spreading the wavelength, that means you can say that we are considered the 400 nanometer, and it spreads from 395 to 405 nanometer, like this. This is called the spreadness of the your wavelength instead of a particular wavelength. Okay, so the wavelength the incident thermal radiation have their wavelength spread in a very narrow range. Let this is your d lambda, that is in between lambda minus d lambda by 2 and lambda plus d lambda by 2. That means here you can just subtract lambda plus d lambda by 2 minus lambda minus d lambda by 2, you can found d lambda only. Okay, this minus this will be this one. If a lambda is the absorptive power, then the amount of thermal radiations absorbed per second per unit area of the body will be how much? See, this is the amount of energy incidents per second per unit area on a body which is shown in the figure. So if a lambda is the absorptive power, first we have to go for the definition of the absorptive power. See, what do you mean by absorptive power? Absorptive power is nothing but, so as per the definition of the absorptive power, it is defined as the ratio of energy of thermal radiation absorbed by the body in a given time to the total incident energy of the thermal radiation in the same time. So here, as per the definition, we can write A equal to, or absorptive power for a particular wavelength, suppose particular wavelength, it will be A lambda. So A lambda absorptive power will be equal to the ratio of, is defined as the ratio of energy of thermal radiation absorbed, that is thermal energy absorbed by thermal energy absorbed by total incident energy. Total incident energy. So according to, here I have to zoom somewhat, it will better that you can follow. So according to absorptive power definition, this is nothing but ratio between thermal radiation absorbed by total incident thermal radiation incident energy. Okay, so here in this case, what is the incident energy? Incident energy is your dq. So here a lambda will be equal to thermal energy absorbed by dq, right? Thermal energy absorbed by dq, right? So the thermal energy absorbed will be equal to how much? Will be equal to a lambda into dq, whatever written over here. So if a lambda is the absorptive power, then the amount of thermal radiations absorbed per second per unit area of the body will be equal to a lambda into dq. Here a is the absorptive power of the material, dq is the total energy incidents per second per unit area. Okay, therefore the amount of thermal radiations reflected and transmitted per second per unit area will be equal to dq minus a lambda dq, because this much energy, if it will be absorbed, then the rest of the energy will be reflected and transmitted. So incident energy is your dq and this much energy has been absorbed. Okay, the rest of the energy will be utilized by reflected and transmitted. So hence amount of thermal radiations reflected and transmitted per second per unit area will be dq minus a lambda dq, equal to dq into 1 minus a lambda. Let this is your equation number 1. So here what we discussed, this is your incident radiation. Some of the energy is going to be absorbed due to the absorptive power and the rest of the radiations is going to be reflected and transmitted. Okay, now we know that the body emits some amount of energy due to its temperature. Here this is the important sentence, that any material or any matter or any part, you can say any body is going to be radiate or emit some amount of energy due to its temperature. Here this body absorbs some energy. When this incident energy falls upon this body, some of the radiation absorbed. Due to absorbed, the temperature has been increased, or due to some energy enters inside this body, the temperature of the body has been increased, or a temperature will be maintained by this body due to the incident energy. After some times, due to that temperature, this body is going to be radiate the energy. So same thing it has been written. We know that the body emits some amount of energy due to its temperature. Okay, if E lambda be the emissive power of the body corresponding to that wavelength lambda, then the amount of thermal radiations emitted per second per unit area by the body will be E lambda into D lambda. See, why we multiplied D lambda? First we have to go through the definition of the definition of the emissive power of a body. Here it is written that emissive power, it is defined as the amount of energy of thermal radiation emitted per unit time per unit area. Per unit time, or here it is written per second. Per second you can write, or you can write per unit time. Same thing, okay? So per unit time per unit area of the surface at a given temperature, that is called as your emissive power. And if you are going to consider a particular wavelength, then it will be represented by E lambda. But here in this case we have been considered a range of lambda. What is the range of the lambda? The range is D lambda. Here we have been considered that the incident thermal radiation have their wavelength spread in a very narrow range, or the wavelength range is D lambda. For a single wavelength, the emissive power, that means energy radiated per unit time per unit area, as per the definition here, energy radiated or thermal radiation emitted, radiated or emitted per unit time per unit area is nothing but called as your emissive power. So if we are going to consider a particular wavelength, then it will be represented by E lambda, right? So if we are going to consider a particular single wavelength, then E lambda represents the emissive power or the amount of thermal radiations emitted by the body per second per unit area, if we have to go and consider a single wavelength. But here we have been considered a narrow range of wavelength, means here we have to consider some numbers of wavelength. That means you can say that I told here that the range of wavelength, that means you just consider 395 to 405. For a particular wavelength, it is E lambda. So for the range, if we are going to consider D lambda, so obviously it will be E lambda into D lambda, right? So hence for this case, amount of thermal radiations emitted per second per unit area by the body will be equal to E lambda into D lambda. Okay. Now, the total amount of thermal radiations going away from the body will be how much? See, this is your incident radiation. Okay, some of the energy absorbed, then some of the energy radiated by reflected, radiated by emitted. So how much energy is going to be radiate away from this body? Radiation by reflected and radiation by emitted. Sum of these two will be give you the total amount of energy is going to be radiate from away from this body. If I am going to add this energy and this energy, same thing here it has been written. Carefully you have to watch. Thus, total amount of thermal radiations going away from the body will be equal to 1 minus A lambda dq plus E lambda D lambda. Here E lambda D lambda is due to the emission, and this is due to reflection plus transmit. Here 1 minus A lambda dq is nothing but reflected and transmitted, due to reflected and transmitted, both reflected and transmitted moving away from the body. Okay, and here E lambda D lambda is nothing but radiation emitted, emission also moving away from that body. So total amount of thermal radiation going away from the body will be this much plus this much. Let this is your equation number 2. Now you have to consider the conservation of law of energy. That means in accordance with law of conservation of energy, the total energy, here you have to put the comma, the total energy or the total thermal radiation going away from the body must be same as that incident on the body. So how much energy has been incident on this body? That is your dq. How much energy it has been going away from this body? By the means of reflected, by the means of emission, by the means of transmission. Okay, by the means of transmit. If it will be opaque, then we can consider a transmission. Suppose in this way, you just draw another line, and so dotted line, you just show that suppose it is a opaque, suppose it is a glass material, so we can expect the transmission. Okay, transmit radiation. But if it will be iron piece, then transmission will be very less, very negligible. Okay, so you just draw it, and if it will be a glass type material, so we can expect some transmission or transmit radiation. If it will be not opaque material, then transmit radiation will be equal to 0. But I suggest that you just draw and write down transmitted radiation. This one is your transmitted radiation. I'm going to zoom for you. You just put the dotted line. This is your transmitted, this is your reflected, and this is your radiation by emission. Okay, so here, according to law of conservation of energy, total amount of thermal radiation going away from the body must be same as that incident on the body. So incident radiation is your how much? dq, and the total energy away from the body is your this much, that is your 1 minus a lambda into dq plus e lambda into d lambda. Let this is your equation number 3. Okay, same equation I have been written again in the next page because it will help me to explain. I am not going to again and again to the back page. So what we found, this is the according to conservation of law of energy, this is your incident energy, and right side is your this is incoming energy. We can say that this is incoming energy towards the body, this is the outgoing energy from the body. Okay, so is equal to, it can be written as dq into a lambda dq plus e lambda d lambda. Okay, that implies here dq got cancelled. We found you can take this one this side, so minus got cancelled, we can found, or you can take this one a lambda dq this side, so we found e lambda d lambda will be equal to a lambda dq. Let this is your equation number 4. But for a perfect black body, a lambda will be equal to 1. What is the meaning of the a lambda? A lambda is your absorptive power. So absorptive power means we have to search the definition. It is the definition is the here amount of absorptive power is nothing but thermal radiation absorbed per total incident radiation, or you can say the ratio between thermal energy absorbed by the body divided by total energy incident upon the body. So if we are going to consider a perfect black body, whatever we discussed in our previous class, that the perfect black body can be absorb all the energies incident on it. So if this numerator is indicates the energy absorbed by the body, black body, your perfect black body, and this is your incident energy, then both will be equal. So for a perfect black body, a lambda will be how much? This will be equal to this. That means a lambda will be equal to 1 for your perfect black body. So hence it has been written that for absorptive power of the perfect black body equal to 1, then we can say that the emissive power E lambda can be represented as capital E lambda. Okay, so therefore if we have to consider the equation number 4, or we can say that if we are going to substitute this value and this value in equation number 4, then what we are going to get? A lambda equal to 1 and E lambda is nothing but your capital E lambda. So hence dq will be equal to capital E lambda into d lambda from equation number 4, right? Now let this is your equation number 5. Now we have to substitute the equation number 5 value in your equation number 4. Here we found dq equal to E lambda d lambda. By considering the perfect black body, we found dq is nothing but E lambda d lambda, Here instead of dq, if I am going to be put E lambda d lambda, then equation number 4 will be, so here it is written that now substitute 5 in equation number 4. What we are going to get? We found E lambda d lambda will be equal to A lambda into dq is nothing but your E lambda, capital E lambda d lambda, capital E lambda into d lambda. So here d lambda got cancelled. A lambda taken this side, it will be E lambda by A lambda equal to capital E lambda. So what we intend to prove, this is your statement of your Kirchhoff's law, that we have to prove that E lambda by A lambda will be equal to capital E lambda. That means emissivity by emissive power by observative power of a body will be always constant, which will be equal to the emissive power of the perfect black body. So as per the definition, it is ratio of emissive power of the body to its observative power at any temperature will be equal to the emissive power. Here emissive power of the perfect black body is represented as capital E lambda, emissive power of the perfect black body. So here hence it is proved, and this value is always constant. Here you can write that equal to also constant. Always it is constant. E lambda always is constant at that temperature. Okay. Here I am trying to explain pictorially. You just follow. Suppose this is any arbitrary body. Okay. Any arbitrary body, but it is not black body. It is not black body. So it has a emissive power and it has a particular observative power at a particular wavelength. So emissive power by observative power at a particular temperature, at particular temperature, it has a definite emissive power and observative power. If temperature is going to be changed, the emission or observative power maybe it will be changed. But at a particular temperature, suppose we are going to consider it will be at 100 Kelvin, it has a definite emissive power and a definite observative power. So we have to find out its ratio, emissive power by observative power. What will be the value? Suppose we got value is K. And now we are going to consider a black body. We are going to consider a black body. This is a black body. And the emissive power of this black body, suppose E lambda. And the value of the E lambda at 100 degree Kelvin, if I want to find out, then it will be also value will be K. Okay. So it will be also the value will be K. I am going to give one example. Suppose we have considered two body. Okay, two different body. Here, according to Kirchhoff's law, we concluded that emissive power by observative power will be equal to always constant. That means suppose this body is absorbed 100 unit and emitted 25 unit. So what is the ratio? It will be emissive power by observative power. That means 25 by 100 will be equal to how much? 1 by 4. Another material, suppose absorbed energy, suppose 4, only 4. Okay, and emitted energy will be 1. Then the emissive power by observative power will be 1 by 4. Suppose we have to consider another different type of body. Suppose this is a different type of body. Absorbed 50 units. Suppose 50 units it has been absorbed. But we know that emissive power by observative power will be constant. That means 50 by, this is observative, the something by 50 should be 1 by 4. Then it will be how much? So it will be 12.5. That means this body is going to be radiate 12.5 unit. Okay, like that. And this will be always constant value at a particular temperature. at a particular temperature is to be concerned, suppose 100 Kelvin, it will be always constant, and that will be the emissive power of the black body, of the perfect black body at that temperature, okay. So this is all about your Kirchhoff's law. Here we have been proved, and this is your importance of Kirchhoff's law. What is the importance of the Kirchhoff's law? It is very interesting. You can see Kirchhoff's law shows that emissive power is larger than absorptive power, also larger. That means here, if this is constant, then if emissive power is going to be increased, so obviously absorptive power has to be increased, because this is a constant quantity. So hence that means a good emitter are good absorber. Okay, the material which can emit more, that material can absorb more. Here whatever we have been discussed in different examples, this material absorbed 100, emits 25. This material absorbed 50, emits 12.5. This material absorbed 4, emits 1. So if I am going to compare this material, this among these three, this is a good absorber and good emitter also. 100 unit absorbed, 25 unit emits. So here, according to Kirchhoff's law, or from this equation number 6, one can be confirmed or conclude that a good emitter or good emitters are good absorbers. Okay. Now we have to discuss about another form of Kirchhoff's law. Okay. Here, as the emissivity E dash of a body is defined as the ratio of its emissive power to that of the emissive power of the black body at the same temperature, so E lambda by capital E lambda, here small e lambda by capital E lambda will be equal to E dash, whatever we have been discussed in our last class. That is your E dash equal to E small e lambda by capital E lambda. That is, the emissivity is the ratio between the emissive power of a given body to that of the perfectly black body. This is the emissive power of the body. This is the emissive power of the perfect black body. Okay, so the ratio will be called as the emissivity of that body at that temperature. Now we have to compare this equation with equation number 6. Here we found E lambda equal to capital E lambda into A lambda. Okay, so here from equation number 6 we can found E lambda equal to small e lambda equal to A lambda into capital E lambda. We have to just put this value here. Instead of E lambda, if we are going to put A lambda into capital E lambda, then capital E lambda and this capital E lambda is going to be cancelled out, and we found A lambda will be equal to E dash. That means here we found absorptive power. This is nothing but called the absorptive power of the body at a particular wavelength. Hence absorptive power of the body is equal to emissivity of that body. Okay, this is the another form of Kirchhoff's law of heat radiation. So this also can be called as the Kirchhoff's law, but in another form, that absorptive power of the body is equal to, always will be equal to the emissivity of that body. Okay, this is all about your Kirchhoff's law. Whatever we have been discussed, you pause the video and write down the note. And here we are going to discuss few applications of Kirchhoff's law. Here you can see a green glass. Suppose this is a green glass. Okay, this is a green glass heated in a furnace. So I given the heated in the furnace. When taken out in a dark room, when taken out in a dark room, it glows with red light. So see, this is a green glass, and it will be heated with in a furnace with high temperature. But when it will be taken out and put inside a dark room, it looks like say red, or it will glows with red light, or we can say this green glass is going to be emit red light, that we can say. Why it happens? See, the green glass, this green glass is good absorber red light. Here this glass is green, that means it absorbs all the radiations but reflects only green color, so it looks like green. So a green glass always a good absorber of red light, right? Okay. And a good reflector of the green light, you just consider the green light and its corresponding wavelength lambda. So here green glass is a good absorber of the red light and a good reflector of green light. Okay. On heating, whenever we have to heat this glass, green glass becomes good emitter of the red light as per the Kirchhoff's law. So the green glass, you just mark, the green glass is good absorber of the red light and good emitter of the red light. So without heating, this glass is green. Why? Because it is a good absorber of the red light. All the lights or all the colors including red, it is absorbed, only it is reflected the green light. But whenever we have to heat with high temperature, whatever the energy it has been absorbed, that it is going to be emit outside. So red light, it has been absorbed, with heating the red is going to be emit by that green glass. So green glass is a good absorber of the red light. On heating, green glass becomes a good emitter of a red light as per the Kirchhoff's law. That is your good emitter are good absorbers. Okay. Next example is the similar type. Let a polished metal, this is your, suppose this is a polished metal, okay, polished metal, this is a polished metal. On this polished metal have a dark spot. On this polished material, a dark spot is there. When this material is going to be heated, then heated with high temperature means around 1000 degree Kelvin, around 1000 degree centigrade, 1000 degree centigrade. Whenever we are going to be hit this polished material having black spot in a 1000 degree centigrade for sometimes and taken out, put inside a dark room, then we can found that this dark spot looks like a brightly, it will be this black spot begins to shine brightly. Okay. So first, this polished metal having black spot, when it will be heated with high temperature, suppose 1000 degrees centigrade, and taken out and put in the dark room, we can found that this black spot begins to shine, begins to radiate energy, or this black spot looks like a white spot. Okay. So the spot begins to shine brightly. This is the example of good absorbers are good emitters. So without heating, this is the black spot, means it absorbs all the radiations. Okay, it absorbs all the radiations. When it has been heated with high temperature, it emits all the radiations. If we are going to consider all the radiations are emitted from the point, then that point will be looks like white as like sun, because sun has all the radiations. When it will be mixed together, all the colors you can consider itself, because sun have all the colors. When all the colors is mixed together, it will be looks like white. Likewise, a black spot absorbs all the radiations. Without hitting, it will be looks like black. But whenever we are without hitting, it looks like black, means it is absorbs all the energies, means good absorber. Whenever it will be heated with high temperature, it will emits all the radiations. So it will looks like a shining bright spot after hitting. So black spot is a good observer and good emitter. This is another example or application, you can say, of Kirchhoff's law. And another example application is that when a decorated China pottery, suppose this is your China pottery of, this is a cup, okay, made up of China is a ceramic, okay, ceramic material. So suppose this is your regular cup and it has been designed. So suppose two cup we are going to be consider. One is white cup without design and another cup with design. Another cup with design, suppose this one like this, flower designing on this cup. Two cups, one is white, one is designed. So when they decorated, or you can say decorated, when a decorated China poetry heated with 1000 degrees centigrade and then taken out decorated poetry and put it inside the dark room. Here I not written, no need to write, you just remember that whenever we have to taken out, we have to put in a dark room for the better observation. So whenever we are going to be taken out, this decorated poetry appears. Whenever it will taken out, comma, here it will taken out from the furnace, decorated poetry, this is your decorated pottery appears brighter than white China. So this is your decorated one, this is your plain one. So this decorated one is shines bright or more shines, or we can say more emit radiation. That's why decorated pottery appears brighter than white China. So when this decorated one and without decorated is going to be heated in a 1000 degrees centigrade and then taken out, it has been found that decorated poetry appears brighter than the white China poetry, because decoration are better observers and better emitters. Here whatever we discussed, a color here blue color is a better observer of the red light and better emitter of the red light. Here a black spot better observer all the radiation, only for that it is black, but whenever it will be heated, it emits all the radiation, only for that it will be begins to shine. That's why a decorated one will be looks like brighter than the white China, because decorations are better observers and better emitters. Okay, these are the applications. You have to write down your note. Here we have been discussed in detail your Kirchhoff's law. Write down, pause the video and write down the note perfectly. And okay, pause the video and write down the note. So that's it for this class, and next class we are going to discuss radiation pressure. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you.